This is my fourth AARP event that I've been to. I really enjoy traveling. I think I've traveled the farthest this time to Miami. I'm from Seattle, so it's a little bit of a journey to get here. But I'm looking forward to also going home, for as much as I enjoy going to new places, because I miss my family. And so one of the ways that I am able to stay in touch with my family is with mobile Wi-Fi. So I'm able to take my laptop or my computer and check email and check on what they're doing. I can share with them what I've been doing by video chatting. So that's what we're going to talk about today is mobile Wi-Fi. So one of the things that we're going to cover in this is just some words to know, some terminology, some symbols, so just to make sure that everybody has the same understanding as we talk about this. We've done this presentation before at other AARP events, and several of the questions that have come up is about Wi-Fi security. So I'll touch a little bit on that just so you are aware of some things you should be thinking about as you're accessing the internet, especially over public Wi-Fi. And then I'll introduce what a mobile hotspot is, and so we'll talk about how it works and maybe how it would benefit your life. So to get started, I think most of you maybe have seen this symbol. Do people know what this symbol is? You're seeing it everywhere. You see it kind of in both places on devices. It's a Wi-Fi symbol, and what that means is that a particular device can access the internet with radio waves. It doesn't need a cord to plug into. So, for example, on my tablet, I'll see it up in the left-hand corner, and if it's blinking, it means that the Wi-Fi is on. You'll also see this at numerous locations that are offering Wi-Fi. And so there's so many more places. There's coffee shops, there's hotels. I was even walking into a department store to pick up some things, and I noticed that they said free Wi-Fi if you come in for their customers. So you're seeing more and more Wi-Fi. I thought this cartoon was interesting, and so I wanted to share it with you. So you'll see these birds, and they're on a wire, and you can kind of think about them as maybe they're accessing the internet and they're wanting to see what's going on. And they've been talking about their friend that's using Wi-Fi. And so they've got their friend over here, and he's without a wire, and they're going, he must be using Wi-Fi. And so going back to the symbol that I had shown you, where there's so many more devices that are out there with Wi-Fi and more places offering Wi-Fi, I thought this cartoon summed this up, where it's saying, it's a little bit freaky, all this wireless technology, and there's all these birds out there without a wire. So this is just to kind of talk about Wi-Fi. So one of the things that we wanted to cover were words to know. So the first one is wired broadband. So think of this as being the birds on the wire. And this is your traditional internet that comes into your home, and you typically had a cord that you plugged into the back of your computer. So this is called wired broadband. The next one that we talked about is wireless internet. So we talked about that. That's Wi-Fi, that's radio waves, that's where you have your tablet. Your tablet doesn't have a place to plug into a cord, so it's accessing the internet over the radio waves. The next one that is up there is mobile broadband, and this is accessing the internet through a cellular carrier's network. And so AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, they will all allow you to access the internet. So as we talk about all of these places with internet, you have more devices and you have more locations. We also wanted to touch on a little bit about how to be safe with Wi-Fi. So the thing you want to be thinking about is understanding the security of the network that you're in. And so public Wi-Fi is typically not secure. And what that means is that someone could be sitting outside of a public Wi-Fi network. They may have some software and they can access in. And what they'll do is be able to get into your personal information on your computer. They could take your name, your address, if you have passwords, your social security number, pictures even. And so you want to be thinking about that as you're accessing public Wi-Fi and what is on your devices that they might be able to get. secure networks are encrypted, and so those are often networks that might be at your home. Often if you have internet in your home, you may have a wireless router that gives a Wi-Fi signal, and so those wireless routers are often encrypted. A mobile hotspot, which we'll talk about in a minute, is also another way to have a secure network, and it's encrypted with the latest Wi-Fi technology. So you can go ahead and pay your bills, you can do banking, you can make purchases, and feel comfortable that nobody's going to be able to hack into your information. And just kind of to give you a little bit of information around how people are doing this, there's kind of a couple ways. One is someone could actually set up a fake hotspot. And so this is called Wi-phishing. And you may be at a hotel, maybe you're staying at the Marriott, and someone may set up a password or a network that looks like the Marriott's name, but it's really not. It could be somebody else just sitting outside the building, and what they're wanting to do is to get you onto their public network so they can access your information. So you want to be thinking about making sure it's the valid network. The other one, which I mentioned as well, is people can easily buy hacking software, and they can actually go to a legitimate public network and hack into that network and get your information as well. So I wanted to share with you a couple of tips to be safe. So think about your hotspot when you're selecting a place to connect to the internet. Is it encrypted? Does it have some form of encryption? Take full advantage of the antivirus software that's on your computer, and possibly even consider hiding folders. So you can do that, and that just makes it a little bit tougher for someone to get into your information. And on the other end, just also think about just removing sensitive information. If you're going to be traveling, have an external hard drive. Save off some of that information that you usually keep on there just to keep it at home. And so there's not any risk of having sensitive information on your computer. The other one is to avoid banking or making purchases online at a public Wi-Fi. And then sometimes this is really convenient. You might be going to a site and they say, oh, would you like me to save your password? And it's really convenient to do that, but it also makes it really convenient for someone else who maybe gets into your computer to have access to. So opt not to save passwords. So what I'd like to do now is introduce you to the mobile hotspot. It's not a very big device. This is a device, and these are sold by AT&T, and they're made by Netgear. But what this does is it connects to the Wi-Fi network, and it emits a Wi-Fi signal, and you can connect your laptop or your tablet to this and have access to the internet over a secure network. And there's a couple things I want to point out. On the left-hand side, you see the Wi-Fi password or Wi-Fi network name. And what that is the unique name. You can customize that. This one's a little bit boring. It just says Unite 71EC. But that's what you would look for in your Wi-Fi manager, and you would click on that. And then you have the password over to the right. And that is a unique password. Only you know unless you decide to share your device out with somebody. And so these two things make this a very secure network, along with the encryption that comes along with this device. When you buy one of these devices from a cellular carrier, they typically have you sign up for service, and you're buying a certain amount of data. And so this particular device lets you track how much data you've used. There's a data usage bar that is the green bar down in the middle of the screen. So how does a mobile hotspot actually work? So as I said, you have these cellular towers, and so the cellular tower sends off a signal that connects the device, and from that connection creates a Wi-Fi signal. And from that Wi-Fi signal, you can connect all of your various Wi-Fi enabled devices. You have cameras, you have music players. There's often a lot of cameras that you can actually connect to Wi-Fi, and you can share your images directly from your camera. A wireless printer, I use that often because I have another printer that I use in a remote office, and so I use my Wi-Fi hotspot to connect to my wireless printer and to my laptop, and I can print documents, and I don't have to have everything plugged in. laptops, tablets, gaming devices. So there's a whole host of Wi-Fi enabled devices. And what's nice about like this particular device, you can connect up to 15 devices. So you can either share it with people that might be traveling with you, or if you have multiple devices, you can connect them all to the internet. So with any technology, you want to make sure that it helps you and it does not become cumbersome and it makes it difficult to use. With Wi-Fi, it allows you to connect your tablet, your laptop, and you can stay connected where you want to be. So in this picture, this woman, she could be at a park, and she might be wanting to just read her email and stay connected with family, grandkids, friends. She could be in her backyard, and a lot of times your Wi-Fi doesn't connect far back in your backyard, and so she could take this with her and be connected to the internet. The other one that I use frequently, because my kids will not let me get into the car unless they know I have my Wi-Fi thingy with me, is to take it on road trips. And so it keeps everybody entertained. The kids are able to listen to their own music that they want to off of their devices. They can play games. I can help with mapping. So when my husband drives, so it works out really well. The other great use for this is kind of as a backup of emergency. Often if there's inclement weather, the power will go down, but the cell towers will stay up, and so you can have internet access as long as the device has been charged. So what are the benefits of a mobile hotspot? Well, it allows you to travel. It allows you to have a sense of freedom that you're not either having to figure out where Wi-Fi is, because you basically have it anywhere that a cellular carrier provides service. So it's with you. You know that it's a secure network. You can connect confidently. My folks were in a situation where they were not at home and they needed to pay bills, and my dad was asking me, so I shouldn't pay my bills on the public Wi-Fi that's available, through the place they were staying. And I said, no, absolutely not. And so I got together with them, and they borrowed mine, and they ended up buying one of these for themselves because they liked it. The other option is that it's predictable and affordable. So depending on who you have as your cellular carrier, they'll often offer plans where you can connect this to an existing account, and it's at a lower monthly cost. The other thing that we have available at AT&T, and the other carriers do as well, is what they call prepaid. So you buy the device outright, and then you just buy data when you need it. So you're not stuck with an annual contract or a recurring fee every month. You just buy what you need. If you're going on a 3-week trip, you can just buy data for that trip. And it's easy to use and share. One of the things that when you connect your tablet or your laptop, it always stays connected. It remembers your device, so you're not always having to go back in and re-enter the Wi-Fi network name and password. And you can share it. You can share it as you're sitting here with friends, or you can easily to have someone in your family take the device with them if they're going on a trip and say, here, take this. Because I know a lot of people use the devices on their smartphones as the mobile hotspot. This has 16 hours of battery life, and when you use the mobile hotspot on your smartphone, it drains the battery quite quickly. So it's nice to have this, because then you don't have to worry about your battery, but then it also is easy to share amongst family members. You can have one for the family. So where can you buy mobile hotspots? So they're available at your wireless carrier. That's kind of an obvious one. But you can also, there's multiple stores, National Retail, Best Buy, Target, Walmart. They have these devices for sale. And then Amazon, you can also buy them online for Amazon. And then I wanted to just let you know that we're out on social media. I'm not sure if many of you are using Facebook or Twitter, but a lot of brands use that as a way to share out information about their products. So you can find us on Wi-Fi Fam on Facebook and Wi-Fi Family on Twitter. And then we have a website that you can go to on att.com for Netgear Mobile Wi-Fi, and it talks about all of our devices. We also have our YouTube channel, which is kind of a fun place to go where you can see how-to videos and just quick videos about the devices.